Have you ever wondered what would happen if a mood ring came to life and spoke like Yoda on backwards day? Well, that's the movie Home. So let's talk about it. Now, there's absolutely no reason why this movie should have made me cry at 1 in the morning. But let's get into it. First things first. These are the Boov. Boovs are the cutest and most ridiculous creatures alive. They are experts at running away. And they change color based on whatever they're feeling. But real quick, going back to that running away thing. The Boov have been running away from this rival creature called the Gorg, and the next place that they've chosen to hide is Earth. So they liberate, aka conquer, the planet, and send all of the humans to a relocation center, aka abduct, so that the Boov can live in their now abandoned homes. But supposedly the Boov are the good guys, right? Anyway, then we meet O, the official outcast Boov and one of our main characters. Now, nobody likes O because he's different and incredibly annoying and doesn't fit in very well. But O is super friendly and just wants to be everyone's friend. So he throws a housewarming party, but no one shows up. And then he decides to send an Evite. But this Evite accidentally gets sent to the entire galaxy, including the Gorg, meaning that O just sent a literal location finder to the very people the Boov have been trying to escape for their entire existence. Meaning O made just about the biggest mistake anyone could ever make. But if you think about it, it's an honest mistake. Who was the genius that put send all next to send? It's like those people who hit reply all on emails. Can they be blamed? No. Are they the worst kind of people and should be persecuted to the highest extent of the law and thrown in a fiery pit of lava? Yes, absolutely. So, just like that, O becomes a fugitive Boov. And then we meet our other main character, Tip. Or really, Gratuitous Tucci. But I think the poor girl has already been through enough, so we're just gonna stick with Tip. Voiced by the one and only icon, Rihanna. You know, that phenomenal music artist that has had us waiting on an album for what seems like 20 years? Seriously, Riri, come on, drop it already. I can't take it anymore. But anyway, we learn that Tip is all alone with her cat, Pig. Right, because her mother was taken by the Boov, and now she has a serious case of survivor's guilt, because by the grace of the movie gods, she wasn't. So finding her mom has become her mission in life. But before that, she has to avoid the Boov, which is how her and O end up crossing paths. After locking him in the freezer and the iconic, "Can I come into the out now?" Tip realizes that she actually does need O's help, so she has to work and trust the enemy. And actually, O needs her help too, because after tricking out her little minivan, he realizes that that is probably the safest and fastest mode of transportation. So for the time being, he agrees to help her find her mom. So the two head off to Boov headquarters in Paris, where they will find the information necessary to find her. And while they are doing that, the Boov are trying to hack into O's email to cancel the Evite, but they can't seem to figure out his password. Once they get to Paris, they are thrown headfirst into the chaos, and in a real nail-biter, O enters in his password to stop the Evite at the last second. And they figure out that Tip's mom is in Australia. So just as the two are about to head off, they are surrounded by a bunch of Boov who want their heads. But as luck, and apparently height, would have it, the two escape, and are once again off on another journey. Only there is a slight, if not major problem. Even though O technically stopped the Evite, the Gorg still showed up and are now attacking the planet. Meanwhile, the other Boov are doing what they do best: getting the heck out of Dodge. And after a quick crash that breaks the mechanisms that are making their car fly and a stolen Gorg super chip, the group is now back on track to find Tip's mom in Australia. Once they make it to Australia, they realize it's not going to be that easy to find Tip's mom, because like half of the population has been relocated here. So it's a little difficult. Plus, they now have to deal with all of the fleeing Boov, which now includes O. O tries to convince Tip to join him as he runs for his life, but Tip, like she should, says that she's not going anywhere without her mom. O abandons her, like, a coward. But Tip storms into the crowd, hyper-focused. On the Boov ship, O saves the day by helping his people escape, and makes a speech about how much he learned from Tip, and that their idiot captain is just that, an idiot. And the Boov that hated him all of his life are apparently easily swayed, and vote O the new captain. Which, honestly, is an idea that backfires, because then O goes and takes them right back to the planet they were just fleeing from. But I guess go main character, and yay for being all brave and stuff. Back on Earth, Tip is having a really hard time finding her mom, and has just about given up, when O comes back and helps her. And then, in just about the most heartwarming moment ever, Tip is reunited with her mom. I mean, duh. But it still made me feel things. No, I'm not crying at a kid's movie. You are. It was just so beautiful. But their little reunion is short-lived, because then come the Gorg, ready to destroy the planet. And then O has the most brilliant revelation that really only a screenwriter could come up with. That the little scepter thing that their old captain was carrying around belongs to the Gorg, and all they want is it back. So, after some near-death dramatics, that's exactly what O does. And we learn that the reason the Gorg have been after it this whole time is because it's actually an egg that contains all of their future generations, and that their species is actually mostly extinct, except for the one Gorg that has been chasing them. But after the Gorg is reunited with his family, he leaves, and everything is right with the world. Except that the Boov decide to stay on Earth. You know, the planet that they colonized and abducted everyone on, but everyone is just kind of okay with it because they saved the day or whatever. And somehow, not a single person holds a grudge. It's like the whole revoke your wish thing in Wonder Woman 1984. Like, you're trying to tell me there's not a single stubborn and rebellious person out there that's like, no way. Okay. But that's the movie Home. And honestly, this movie is too cute for its own good. I watched it back thinking I wouldn't have the greatest things to say about it. But this movie is adorable. Point blank, period. Yes, the whole mixed up backwards speaking thing does get annoying sometimes. And it's still a kid's movie. But the animation and the characters are just too sweet not to enjoy. I mean, the Boov are giant mood rings, and the complexity that comes along with that is just marvelous. I mean, the scene where O is torn between going with his new friend to help her find her mom and following his heart, versus doing what he was always taught to do growing up and following his head, is simply perfect. You get to see every single emotion that he feels, and that can be hard to capture, but they do it so well. I simply care about these characters. And that's the best thing a movie can do. Plus, there's also this. Knock knock. Who's there? The interrupting cow. The interrupting cow who? Boo! This is Tiana Elise, signing out.